Imagine your boss says to you, "We need to talk." A little worrying, right? Now, imagine a coworker says, "We need to talk." Same words, different reaction. You can sense the difference between those situations because you understand nuance, context, and consequences. But AI can't understand those things, not on its own at least. It can be an amazing collaborator and help you enhance your work in all sorts of ways. But AI doesn't live in the real world like we do. That means you need to exercise responsible AI use. This is a big part of our work here at Google. We're committed to AI that encourages bold innovation, responsible development, and collaborative progress. These are our AI principles. So, knowing AI's limitations enables you to use it more effectively and responsibly. For example, AI can get things wrong and say things that aren't true or subtly false. This is called hallucination. There are many reasons why AI may hallucinate. For one, it may be that its underlying training data has an error. It could also be that it's trying to solve a problem that's entirely too unique and that it hasn't seen before. Might also struggle to accurately understand real-world knowledge and physical things. Or it might be because it's trying to create an answer, but it's really just a guess. Because AI can hallucinate, you always need to pay attention and verify what you get before using it in your work, even if the responses sound confident. Another limitation you should be aware of is that AI does not have common sense like you and me. And while its outputs can seem insightful or intuitive, you have to remember that it doesn't have a real understanding of the world. At the end of the day, its outputs are just based on patterns it learned from data, not real experience. For instance, recently I asked it about street festivals in an upcoming weekend. It pulled street festivals from previous years. It was a mistake, but I caught it and corrected it. So what part do you play as an AI user? Well, you're in the driver's seat. You're responsible for overseeing each step of the process from beginning to end. We call this human in the loop, meaning you should be constantly involved with the use of AI at each step. Now, the need to use AI responsibly is pretty obvious, but you may be thinking to yourself, how do I do this, or where do I start? Well, there are 3 simple steps to making sure you're using AI responsibly. To remember it, we like to use the term ACT for act responsibly. A stands for ask. Before doing anything, ask yourself, is this even a case where I should be using AI? For example, don't rely on responses as medical, legal, financial, or other professional advice. Always consult a professional on these topics. If your task involves sensitive, confidential, personal, or proprietary data, consider whether or not you should use AI. Another question you should ask yourself is, can I use an off-the-shelf solution, or is it better suited for an enterprise tool? You should always consult your employer's policies on using AI at work and avoid inputting confidential data into a public AI tool. Next up, C, which stands for check. After you've decided that AI is right for the task, check the outputs before using them. First, check for objectivity. Remember that a model's training data can sometimes produce unintended results. It's your responsibility to critically review the AI's response. This involves looking out for one-sided arguments, loaded language, stereotypes, or other unfair assumptions that AI may have learned. Next, check for accuracy. Verify the outputs you receive and make sure that any information which is presented as factual actually is. When checking your outputs, you also want to look out for bias. In many cases, it's what you do with the output that matters. You should always check that the output is appropriate for its intended use. You should not rely on AI to finish work for you without your oversight. Completing the task requires your judgment and accountability. Finally, T stands for tell. Being a responsible AI user involves disclosing your use of it. Always be transparent about your use of AI. One way that Google is helping to increase transparency of AI use is with SynthID, a new tool which adds digital watermarks into AI-generated content like videos, so the use of AI can be detected easily. Okay, we've covered all parts of ACT. Before you use AI, ask yourself whether or not the tool is right for the task. Check all AI-generated outputs before using them. And when you do, tell people. And remember, it's up to you to be the human in the loop at each step. Now you're ready to keep going.